Hello there. Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 4 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here today to give you another tip on how to help you bring more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do. Today I want to look at the way we have a tendency to deal with problems. Because we all know problems will pop up, whether it's big or small, and I think we want to make sure we're dealing with them purposefully. And my belief is there's a couple of ways to deal with them. One is the kind of the typical way. When people come across a problem, they have a tendency to go, oh crap, or maybe stronger than crap. In other words, they have a reaction to the negativity of the problem, the frustration the problem may be going to cause, etc., etc., etc. That's understandable, but that then has us kind of trapped in that lower 20% of the brain, just feeling bad about the problem. Not really doing anything about it. You know, if that negative energy has us motivated to do something about it, well, hey, that's something, but I think there's even a better way to react to it and then to deal with it. And that way is what I call good information. Now, let's see what that looks like in real life. Traffic, for example. Let's assume we're going someplace, takes about 20 minutes to get there. We leave about 20 minutes before we're supposed to be there. We get on the road and traffic. Oh crap. Now we start thinking about, okay, what problems are going to be caused, how people are going to react, what this means when I'm going to be late, what am I going to say, how many times have I been late before, why didn't I start earlier, ba-boo, 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 ba-boo. Understandable, but notice just how that negative kind of worry, resentment, anger, frustration is our experience around traffic. Now, we're still in traffic. We haven't done anything about traffic because, frankly, we just can't do anything about traffic, and yet we're not seeing it in a way I think that's helpful. I want to be very clear now. I'm not saying you have to be different in traffic. For those of you who find yourself feeling angry or frustrated or resentful or annoyed in traffic, and that works really well for you, feel free to keep that up. I have no judgment about that. But for those of you who say, you know, I'm going to find myself in situations like traffic, like dealing with other people, that may disappoint me or may do things I don't expect or not in the way that I would believe to be the best way, I'm going to find myself dealing with problems in the future. How can I deal with them more successfully? How can I deal with them in a way that accesses that upper 80% of the brain, that clarity, confidence, creativity, where either if there's something that can be done about the problem, I do something about it, but I'm coming from this more productive, intelligent, compassionate, caring part of who I am, so whatever I do is often more effective. Or if I can't do something about it, I'm able to accept that and then move into, okay, given that I'm going to be spending time here in traffic, how do I want to use this time? That reaction, in my opinion, is good information, because I think it is. Right now we have good information about what it's like to go on this particular road at this particular time of day, or maybe good information about only leaving 20 minutes for a trip that takes 20 minutes, or good information about maybe a plan for what we need to do if we find ourselves being late in the future, but it's all good information. Okay, that works for traffic. Let's look at relationships. And these things could be anything. Could be family relationships, could be friendships, could be romantic relationships, could be business partners. Isn't it fair to say that people will always give us good information about who they are and how they are in a relationship, how they are in a friendship or a loving relationship or a family relationship? Do they keep their word? Do they do what they say? Do they take others into account whenever they say something? Is this someone I can depend on? And frankly, we can pretty much always depend on them to behave in a way that they've shown us, this is how I behave. In other words, they've given us really good information for the most part. We need to make sure we're taking that and acting upon that, or at least taking that into the equation. So we know if someone says, hey, let's meet at 10 o'clock, and we know they're always 15 minutes late, good information. Do I show up at 10 till 10 or 5 to 10 or maybe even 10 o'clock? Or do I kind of show up at 5 after? Or do I just show up and give myself something to do between the time they're there? Or do I not plan that engagement with them because they're really not doing what they say they were doing? They're giving me good information. Am I going to take it? Family situations, good information. Do they talk about others? If they talk about others, they're probably going to talk about me. So what do I want to share with them? Good information. Now, the only place this really is not something that I would encourage you to apply is in the area of significant loss. If you've lost a loved one, that is a problem. There's really nothing good about that. So I'm not talking about saying everything is good information. There's some situations that are just sad. And feeling sad is really something we really want to feel because we want to define ourselves as someone who feels sad when we've lost something significant, someone important in our lives. But let's look at the rest of all the problems that we have a tendency to react to with, oh crap. If we could begin to say, good information. What have I learned from this? If I were doing this differently in the future, how would I do it differently so that I'm not dependent on traffic or other people to be a certain way so that I can be successful? I hope you're finding these videos valuable. I am loving bringing them to you. And by the way, I'm really loving your comments and your questions. So I do encourage you to put those below. I'll read them all. I'll respond to them if you have a question. Please hit the like button, of course, because you know that is a big deal to YouTube and Google. And really, it has other people being exposed to this. Send this to your friends, if you would, if you think this is valuable, if you think your friends could use some good information. Send this to your friends. The more you recommend me to others, the more this becomes kind of something that everyone can use. So, here is to you, bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity to everything you do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.